All right, thank you very much, Bonnie. Welcome everyone to the August 19th, 2026 Northampton Urban Forestry Commission meeting. This meeting is being recorded. Our next order of business is public comment, and there are no people from the public, so we will dispense of that unless someone comes in a little later. Review and approve the minutes is the next agenda item. So I don't know if you've had a chance to review the minutes. If you haven't, please take the time to do so.
I saw a couple of misspelled words, if that
Oh,
matters.
yes, it does. Absolutely.
Okay, and
Typos.
under the care and maintenance section, paragraph, like the line 6, upon completion of spring planting, the first word is misspelled. And then the next line, Bob Haxby, his name is misspelled.
How do you spell his name, Rich?
Haxby.
Haxb.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
looked at that and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, something. Right.
X.
I don't know, maybe he changed it. I don't know.
In the next bullet, I think where it says Davis, I think that means David.
David, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. 24 trees.
That's all I had too, those corrections.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
What's that, Ken?
I'm all
You're
set.
okay. All right. Thank you for those observations and noted changes. Could we get a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
I'll also move.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. There's a motion to accept the minutes as amended, and it has a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, Bonnie, could we do a roll call vote, please?
Absolutely. Rich Perslitti,
Yes.
Jen Werner,
Yes.
Richard Parrish,
Yes.
Kent Johnson,
Yes.
and Molly Hale and David Lukens.
Are not right, are not here. Okay. All right. Okay, moving on to our next agenda item. So the chair tree warden report. So a couple things. I was looking through the minutes and I just wanted to follow up with you that we did have a public shade tree hearing on Maple Avenue for the trees that were impacting or that the request of the applicant that was building the 5 townhouses. So that public shade tree hearing happened. And I'm going to tell you the date in a second. I can't quite remember the date, but there was mitigation paid to the tree planting fund for 70, where's my note, $7,950. So that has gone into the fund, the account that we used to pay for materials and supplies for public shade trees. And the hearing happened on, my apologies, it happened on June 22nd, 2026. So it happened after our last meeting. So that is completed. The trees were removed. I have another request, a formal request now with some more definition for the public shade trees that are adjacent to a 1005 Park Hill Road. So I will be working with that applicant to just quantify what the mitigation is going to be for the loss of the benefits of those public shade trees as well, and scheduling that hearing. They're building a two-family home there up on the hill. If you're familiar with Park Hill Road Extension, where it comes out to Glendale Road, if you're looking at Park Hill Road Extension, it's almost to the East Hampton town line. There is a house or two-family home is going to be built on the left. And then there is potentially across the street from there will be probably a series of public shade trees removed because of sightline obstructions for that driveway for I think it's for Sovereign Builders or I can't remember the name of the development right now, but they are actually going to be I have to quantify all that work as well. So I have to meet with the applicant up there to deal with that issue as well. So I'll have more information probably in September.
Is that the one on the hill on Glendale Road?
That is well, if you're on Glendale Road, that one's on the right-hand side.
Going, when you go down that hill?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there's the other one is basically diagonally across from that on the corner of Park Hill Road Extension. So,
Oh, okay.
yep. So, trying to think of what else I had in here. I don't have an update. I'm still waiting as a follow up with Davy Resource Group to sort of um, get a copy of their proposal for a potentially a updated tree inventory. So I'm still working on that. I don't have any information. My apologies.
Would such a report include all of our young trees?
Yes, yes, yep. Yeah, we are going to inventory, when inventory plus or, like, let's say, for example, like 10,000 plus or minus public shade trees. So what we would have to do is we would have to specify because whoop, oh,
What?
We can see you, but I don't know, something weird's happening on your
yeah,
end.
not sure what happened. Just went blank for a minute. My apologies. Rich, we'd have to specify the diameter breast height trees we wanted to capture. So because MGL 87 says specifically that all trees that are inch and a half in diameter, 12 inches off the ground are considered public shade trees. The original language that we had back in 2016 had that, but it was cost prohibitive to do that. So we settled on any of the rural roads that we had, which I think was like 25 miles of rural roads. We settled on anything that was 6 inches diameter, breast height or greater. Anything that was not on those 25 miles of rural roads, we tried to capture everything. So basically focusing in a lot of places where we've planted. So we would have to do something similar to that. Um, so that's, important to get all those data points correct and get the locations of them correct and sort of all that detail that we have on those spreadsheets would still be useful, but we would actually have it in a system instead of actually having it on the spreadsheet.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, and I don't have any chair chair report other than I am going to circle back with Carolyn Mish about the significant tree ordinance and see where the planning office is with that so I'm going to see if I can work with her to get that put on, get it sponsored again, like we did with the mayor, and then move it forward. So that is a goal of mine to get accomplished because it's been kind of quiet.
Mhm.
And I did meet with Jen to go over, and Jen will talk about this, about our fall tree planting um, initiative. So Jen will talk more about that in the preceding bullets. Any questions? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Moving along. Care and maintenance of existing trees discussion or update. Rich, I wasn't sure if you had something to share with us, so I just sort of put that on as like a revolving bullet item.
Yeah. Uh, the work is ongoing and with the intention of it continuing up until planting season, but then with the understanding that people are most welcome to continue looking after the trees, at any time of the year. But when we get to planting time, I will then request kind of a full report from everybody as much as they're able to supply on volunteer hours, streets worked, approximate number of trees that they handled. Of the about 19 volunteers that were on the original list and were assigned to an area, assigned to one of the 16 areas, at least like one or two people kind of bowed out because of physical reasons. I think 11 of the people have reported back to me that they're either on continuing their work and had just had questions, but they're seriously working on their areas. And about 4 or 5 people reported back that they had completed working the young trees in their area, and that particularly and we told them the key targets were the trees that are 1, 2, 3 years old, that should be remulched and weeded. Of course, in addition to the weeding and mulching of the young trees, we also asked that people look at the trees, the black tree guards, and either enlarge them if they're getting tight, or remove them if the tree has outgrown them completely. And I think you'll find that there's a big stack of those tree guards over there at the DPW yard, back there, that corner. And there's accumulating some stakes and poles and tree guards there. So, people are, I think, doing some good work out there. And perhaps, well, Jen can suggest when tree planting might start, at which time I'll try to get a roll up of all the details of the work being done. So that is where it stands now.
I just had this thought for next year. If it seems like it was pretty successful, and that may be something if we needed more people to do more neighborhoods, I bet you we could work with some of the high school kids if they needed, they need community service to graduate. So that, it may be something they may, who knows, but it was just a thought I had. We could float the idea to our connection in the science department, Dan Moylan over there, and just see, if he had young people that were interested. So not, for next year. So for next summer.
Getting more people would be good, and we can kind of reduce the areas of coverage that people have been assigned, because some of them might seem like it was rather extensive. But
right.
I wonder if there's a possibility of using some of the tree mitigation money to hire people in the summer to do this work.
Interesting.
I know there's a lot of money in that fund, and this is supporting the trees. I mean, there's a lot of administration involved in that, so it's not just necessarily an easy thing to do, but wondering if that's a possibility.
I'm sure it's something that we could discuss further, I think. I think it would be good to understand the amount of hours that we would be asking, so we could sort of, it's almost like we need to go through a cycle of one season and see what exactly the hours would look like, and how best to craft, how best to sort of back into an hourly number.
Yeah.
I will tell you, though, it's been very difficult to hire seasonal staff the last several years. It's been a struggle, but that's just the way of the work world today.
Yeah, I mean, this could conceivably be college students home for the summer, or even high school students maybe over the summer.
It
They
could.
wouldn't have to be 18, right? because there's no power equipment involved, there's no ladders, there's no,
I would have to speak to the HR director about that. I'm not sure
yeah,
if there's
that
an
would be
I'm not
something
sure if there's an
about that.
exemption of that, but
Right,
so,
right.
but
That's an interesting
if they are,
idea.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth exploring. So it's any questions for Rich? Rich, are you finding that there's enough material at these locations? No one has asked me for another drop of material.
At South Street, there's still uh, quite adequate pile, and at your DPW up there at Spring Grove, there's a good pile there.
Okay.
I haven't looked at Locust Street lately, but
Yeah, the bin's full.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think materials were good.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for keeping this together and making it happen. We've
Yeah.
put out on a side note in my tree warden report, we did put out water bags for
Yeah.
this trees we planted this year and all the trees we planted last year, and then I believe the fall before. So we're two and a
Wow.
half, we're 2 seasons, basically 2 full seasons. And it's been sort of hit or miss. They watered a lot in July. This month, the first half of the month, we did get some decent rainfall. So we've been watering the nursery, but we are going to start because even though everything is very lush, the ground is still extremely dry. So we're going to start watering again. But we've had pretty good success. We've lost a few trees, and I'm going to send you an email, Jen, with some new locations
Okay,
to put on the tree tracker sheet.
yep, yep,
But I have noticed that the people have been working around the trees. They look good and they look
yeah, they do.
it's great. So I appreciate it. Any other questions before we move on to Jen's? Okay. All right. So next on our agenda is the fall 2026 tree planting discussion and update from Jen.
Um, Rich and I met at the end of July, and he had a little list of things to do. I have a big list of things to do. So I did send out an email to folks who help site trees that we can start sending in dig safes. Tom Bassett knows that he's on vacation, so he's not back till the end of the August. But we will have a list of replacements, that we can work with before that. Kind of our goal for the fall is to empty out the nursery as much as we can. We may have to purchase a small amount of trees. Sue and I are going to go to Spring Grove Cemetery to do an inventory to make sure we have the right numbers. We were going to go Monday, but we couldn't, so I think we're going to go at the end of the week. I think if the weather is reasonable, and Rich and I, Rich, you and I can talk about this. I'm going to be away from September 5th to September 12th, so I was thinking we could start after September 12th. If you feel like it's wet enough, if it's not too hot, so that was kind of a ballpark aim. And I was going to send out this week a message to our recruitment people who recruit volunteers to just give people a heads up that we are planting this fall, and probably mid-September is the ballpark time we might start if the weather cooperates. And just a couple of amendments to review the way we the procedures to plant. We're we're still using tree diapers, but we're not going to put mulch under the tree diapers, I guess. The tree diapers are going to need to be in contact with the soil. So I just want to make sure we get that information to the people, the volunteers and the volunteer leaders. And the other somewhat change is really more for people who go out and check dig safes, but the water boxes that are serving the houses from where they tee off from the main water source, we're going to stay 10 feet away. We'll have to, the stakes have to be 10 feet away from those rather than 5 feet. So those are the main changes I have. Sue and I met recently, a week ago or so, and we reviewed the tree tracker. I've got lists. We've got we're starting to line things up. I'm in communication with Christina to make sure I didn't miss any of the setbacks. Usually in the fall, we start out with like really focusing on the setbacks because often in the spring it takes a lot of back and forth to get those set up, and sometimes we run out of time to plant them in the spring. By the time there's a lot of communication that has to happen, so generally we have more setbacks in the fall. So we've got a decent list, and I think I don't know if there's anything else. Questions for the fall?
I just wanted to follow up. I did send an email to, I think you were included in, and maybe Tom Bassett, about the dig safes and how I think it's going to be better for whoever's collecting the dig safe information. They need to load it up into a Excel sheet like we've done in the past with the same data, and actually convert the photographs, because a lot of people take photographs with their like iPhone and it's
Yeah.
HEIC. It needs to be converted to JPEG and
Yep.
then actually put on in a folder and then put in a thumb drive, transfer to a thumb drive.
So it has to be, all the pictures have to be JPEG form.
Yes,
I think,
yeah,
yeah,
JPEG
my
form.
iPhone does that. Maybe other iPhones don't.
There's a setting in your phone you can tell it what type of photo to take.
Okay.
So, and
And
it's
I
yeah,
think I didn't get this. I think you probably sent it to Tom. We talked about there being issues. So
yeah.
then he needs to put it in an Excel sheet.
Yeah, so basically nothing changes. We just do everything the same way. We just make a JPEG. So it goes in an Excel sheet, which is easily downloaded.
Right, right.
We have JPEG photographs, same data, location. The only thing is we don't need to do a segment any longer because
Okay,
with the DigSafe system is sort of doesn't require a segment, so I can just do an
okay,
exact location.
okay.
And
But
then it
one
just needs
picture.
one picture per location, and it
Yeah,
just needs to be in a thumb drive, and and we will figure out how that transfer will happen.
okay.
Because what was happening last year is that even though Tom gave me permission to share the Google Drive that he sent
Yep,
me, or the Google document, for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it's the permissions on the city side or
yep, yep,
something
yep.
with Tom's side. I really spent a lot of time moving things, and I really would prefer not to. I'm also going to hopefully enlist the help of our office staff so they get done a little more timely.
And
So
so does Sue know this? Because she
I believe
usually interfaces with,
I'm looking for, let me see if I can find recipient. Dun, dun, dun. I did,
yeah, I
actually,
was just,
you are copied. It was 8/16.
huh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was when I was away.
Yeah. So the title is Time for Fall Dig Safes. So I just got a couple of bullet points in there just explaining what I just did. It's just going to make
Oh,
it a little easier, and then in the end, it's
totally.
more timely for the organization of the tree planting days. So
Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because
Okay.
I know there was some issues and
Yeah.
usually if he needs help, like I think Sue could do that. I'll check in with her to make
Okay.
sure when he comes back to
Okay.
um maybe they can sit down together and do the first one together or something like that.
Okay.
So
I mean,
we can,
he can always, they can just call me and ask me. I'll be more than happy to like walk him through the first one if he needs help. I have no issue with that.
okay,
So,
okay.
and then, um, I need to get Jen, you need the stump list, right? So
Did you?
I don't think I gave it to you.
Yeah, because we had a printer problem. I had a printer problem, which I still have,
Yeah.
and you had a printer problem, so we
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
All
great.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I just put out that email to people to talk about dig safes, just so they, we need to get the ball rolling because there's a, you know, several week delay, on our
Mhm.
part and on, just to make it happen. So yeah. So I just wanted to say, hey, it's time to think about this. Like, go look at those sites. Do they have a stake? Is it painted?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah. That's great.
and no segments. I'll have to tell Christina that.
Yeah. No, no, don't bother worrying about segments. You can do directly, and that
Yeah.
issue got resolved.
Okay, great.
So,
Perfect.
because it kept saying that the system kept saying that that the address that people actually live there were ones taking out the dig safe. So we figured out how to
Oh,
get around that. So, or
yeah,
taking
gotcha.
out the trench
Okay.
permit. So,
Yep, gotcha. Okay. Okay. And it's
um,
still for dig safe, it's still, I'll just contact you and say, hey, are these done? Or
yes. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That works.
Do you have a handle yet on how many trees you think you are targeting to plant this fall?
Uh, I I don't. I mean, pretty much this past spring we did 75, but 23 of those were um at JFK.
Yeah.
So we usually don't have a really big planting in the fall. So um I would uh, I don't we don't really have a goal necessarily,
Okay.
but I could look back at past falls to see. I have a really terrible memory for numbers. So I don't even want to say a number because it could be like 25 off of it. I just
Okay.
have a terrible memory for that.
All right.
Yeah. Any questions about the fall?
But yeah, you don't want to give a number, but something like between 50 and 100
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something. All right.
yeah, probably low end 50 and yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I doubt we'd get 100, but yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So, okay. Any other questions for Jen? Jen, is Vicky still volunteering? Do we know to set up the
Yep,
for tree Northampton? Okay.
Saturdays.
All right,
Hmm.
perfect. Okay. Are we gonna plant Wednesdays still or just Saturdays?
Yeah, we should. Paul did, I didn't get back to him, but he did send us a text saying, he's back in shape. He's not 100%, but he'll be able to come
Okay.
out and help plant. And so, yeah,
Okay.
that group has gotten a little bit smaller. That's the other thing, just numbers of people, or some of our people are, getting knee replacements and,
Yeah.
so yeah, so
I understand.
right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right. But we're doing pretty good. He was really excited about to do it again, and yeah, which is great for me. To be, yeah, I need people to deal with the volunteer situation. That's it's just another layer. I just can't put another layer on. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I'll send you well, I guess, do you want to know what's in the nursery when we inventory it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, maybe
All
I
right.
can try to be here if you're doing it during the day, but if you're off hours, just send me a list of what.
Yep.
So I still need to go, just go through a Brook and Abbey and take out all the dead trees and sort of like get rid of all the grow bags and everything that's in there that's
Right.
sort of loosely hanging around. And
Yeah,
I'll
that'd
have
be
Simon.
great.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
have a
that'd be
little.
great.
Yeah, they're going to be down there working tomorrow, watering, I think. So
Hmm.
I will stop down after I get everyone moving along here in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be great because it just makes
Okay.
it easier to see what we have and,
Okay.
we're
Yep.
not, oh, is it, counting stuff and that's, half
Okay.
dead, stuff like
All right.
that. So,
Okay. Any other? I think we're good.
yep.
Okay. Again, this is sort of this is a light agenda, sort of by design in essence, because the other commissioners aren't here, but is there any other business not anticipated by the chair?
Do you want me to go over the spring planting report?
Sure. Yeah, if you
Okay.
would like. Rich, you have your hand up. Did you want to say something? Just,
Well, yeah, when Jen's done, I've got a
okay. All right,
couple.
great. All right, thank you.
You want me to share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to because you're a co-host. Yeah.
All right. Where is it? Let me see. I have, I think this is, huh. Oh, that's not it. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. Um, okay, so I have been in the habit of kind of consolidating the planting report. Anybody that wants a copy of this, I can certainly send it to you. This is just for spring 2026. We put in a total of 75 trees. We had 12 plantings. We started in April, April 18th and ended the 17th of June. We planted both Saturday and Wednesday mornings. The breakdown was 30 tree belts, 5 setbacks, 15 right away, and 23 at a school. The setbacks are a little lower in the spring, like I mentioned before, because it takes a lot of back and forth and communication to get a tree selected in the site. So sometimes the dig safes, we run out of time to plant them. So, and the dig safes have to get processed. So we do have a list of setbacks that are ready to go in. Percentages, 6.6% setbacks and 6.6 replacements. And those are due to sometimes it's drought, sometimes it's occasionally, when you get 10 trees from the nursery, occasionally the root balls aren't as good as some of the others. We've had a couple trees get run over. So replacements I feel like have gone back down. We've had pretty good. I think the watering is what really has helped us. Just a couple highlights. We planted 23 trees at JFK with the community planting with the Rotary. That was a huge success. We have 7 trees that were planted at 3 intersections of the bike path in Florence with roadways. And Bob Haxby and Tom Bassett really did the legwork and had a bigger plan, but because of the intricacies of the bike path, who owns it, we dialed it back to this. We had several plantings involving student volunteers from NHS, not just Ryan Road, but some other ones. We also have a young man, William Brady, who's pretty interested in our tree program and has helped with the planting, but also has gone out with Rich Parrish in the winter to prune, and also with Bob Haxby this summer to do some summer maintenance. And I'm in contact with him to see if he wants to go out with me for my initial dig safes and stuff like that. So I think he's a senior this year. We're hopefully he'll go into the industry. 15 tree belt trees were planted on Ryan Road, and we planted in at least one tree in every single ward, from 1 to 7 this spring. We have several planting sites that are on hold due to construction of sidewalks and gas lines and sometimes homes. I really try to, stay out of the areas they're doing. There's a lot of gas line work, as most of you know, in our town right now. So, and I did include a little section at the bottom because I think it's important people understand, it's a lot of people helping to get stuff done. And that's why it works. So David Lukens, I sorry he isn't here today. He has really been the school tree whisperer. He's been able to, really get us into the schools and contacts the people and works really well with me. Christina is continuing to be our setback person, and that takes a lot of touches, a lot of back and forth, and she does a great job with that. She has really good lines of communication with me. We work really well together, so that's helpful. Molly Hale really was the person who got us started on planting on Ryan Road. She either walked it or rode her bike or something, and had all these open sites that she thought would be good. And then she and I met and walked it, and then we staked it, and we had to remove a few, but she really was the driving force behind getting 15 trees on Ryan Road. Of course, the DPW, Rich, tree warden, and his tree crew, particularly Abby and Brooke, we couldn't do it without them. Paul Thaler and Vicky Van Zee are our volunteer coordinators for Wednesday and Saturday. Bob Haxby is kind of a jack of all trades, fills in for, helps me out to do all kinds of things. He does some siting work. Tom Bassett is the guy who does our kind of coalesces our dig safes and sends them to Rich. Rich Parrish is our leader for winter pruning, and also spearheaded our new neighborhood summer tree maintenance program, which is huge. That's a really huge effort, and I think it makes it's a big deal, I think, just from visual perspective. When I go to towns, I look at parks and trees and sports areas, because you can really tell, what towns really put efforts there. So I think it's a big deal. We have a great group of veteran planters. We are very efficient now. People really know what they're doing, and are willing to be leaders when we have group plantings and stuff. People are very generous. Sue Lofthouse does our tree tracker spreadsheet, and she also usually leads the Saturday morning planting, and I meet with her regularly. So there's no way things would happen without her. And Moyland is our science teacher connection for Arbor Day, for tree bagging, and also if we need extra students, or we have organized his students separate days for them to come and plant. We've organized a couple times. And then I am the tree planting coordinator. And all of these are volunteer positions, so except for the DPW. Hopefully you guys aren't volunteer. So that would be bad if it comes down to that. All right. So if anybody has any additions or feels like I omitted something, I'm always open to. This just comes out of my head. So
well done, Jen.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's
great.
helpful to just have a picture, and I've done this for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 since I've been doing since Rob and Alicia had to leave. And I just think it's important to be able to convey in a simple way, to even the city council, if need be. So we have a record of several years of planting. So in this manner, we have records in other manner. So, and I will stop sharing.
Jen, your numbers don't quite add up.
Oh, they don't?
You've got 73 in your planting breakdown and 75 in your total.
Oh, okay. I might have. Okay, thank you. I can change it. I can change that. Yeah, thank you. That's not. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Sometimes I get lost in the sauce there. I'll change that. Thank you for that. It's good to have a data person, number person watching me.
Jen, if you could, when you make those changes, and can you just send that to me after you change it so I can actually have Bonnie make it an appendices of the minutes,
Yep.
please?
Yep, I'll do that. Yep.
All right.
Let me
Okay. That's
change.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let me stop
Oh.
sharing here.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Any questions follow-up questions for Jen? Again, thank you very much. We've been, like I've said in the past, we've been doing this since 2005. Well, let's say 2015. So we're 11 years.
Hmm.
And it's been one heck of a great partnership, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work on it. But I think we've done the right thing. I think we pushed hard in the very beginning. We planted a lot of trees, many of them survived. And where was I today? I was on Middle Street the other day, and there was London plane trees up and down Middle Street that we had planted in 2019, and then some actually in 2000 and I think like 2023. We did a couple of setbacks, which actually there's a broken one, which I'm going to send you a picture of that needs to
Oh, okay.
top of
I
it
think,
snapped off. So
yeah, I think that may be an address I already have, but send it to me anyways.
okay, all right, yeah, I'm going to send you
Christina
an
just said
email,
something.
and it might have some duplicates. So
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I have an ongoing, like I organize my own list. So
yep.
Off of the tree tracker, it's just easier for me to develop groups from yeah.
So, but I mean, it's great. Thank you very much. I don't know what else to say other than thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, and it's definitely noticeable because the trees that we've planted 8 years ago are now very large. And if you go up and down Industrial Drive, even the trees that we planted as part of the trees that we moved from from King Street have survived and flourished. And then the other trees that we planted as part of that, reimagining that street with trees have just taken off as well. The swamp white oaks, incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so yeah, well done.
Cool.
Looking forward to continuing to do this. It's a good lift. I think the amount of trees we're planting, matching it against the amount of hours that people can actually dedicate
Yeah.
to this, volunteer hours. So,
Right.
but
And how many we can get water on and
yeah,
deliver reasonably,
yeah.
and yeah,
Well,
I think we can.
we've been fortunate that we've had some stability in that realm on the public works end as well, because that is always an unknown, but
Right.
it's been very steady. So, oh, all right, thank you. Rich, you wanted to add something or have
Yeah, a couple
uh,
things.
sure.
Just in the last month, I re-upped for this commission, and I guess Jan and others have been doing this probably several times, but so I'm back in for the next term. It's no surprise. Another thing, I attended the Amherst Public Shade Tree Committee picnic
Mhm.
A few weeks ago, and met their group and the their tree warden. Was it Snow, Mr. Snow?
Yeah, Al Snow, yeah.
Al, yeah. But their group, they've their shade tree commission is pretty much the same as their volunteer group, and there's about 10 of them.
Mhm.
They tend to be younger than our volunteer group, and they said that they planted 20 something like 25 trees this spring. So they guess they're a little more selective and with a smaller group, but um, and then they also, this same group of volunteers has been going out in the summer and doing some tree maintenance, including kind of beautifying the gardens out in the Amherst Commons and such. So they do a little more wide ranging work there, but they have a good group of people, and I told them maybe sometime we could do some cross education, go to each other's plantings or something, just to learn best practices and such. And I'll plan to get in touch with the head of their shade tree commission to see if we could do that maybe this fall for planting. Then one other thing is that it occurred to me that it would be of value if we could put door hangers on houses at which we plant in the tree belt. This may have already been discussed in the past, but just asking them, very kindly to do some watering if conditions get dire, and it can only, help survival and such. So perhaps that could be a topic for later discussion, but it might cut back on DPW efforts if the neighbors can do some watering of trees in the tree belt in front of their house. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's first of all, let me just speak to that. I think it's great that thank you for going to Amherst and making that connection. I was fortunate to Ellen, who is the chair of I think she's the chair of the tree committee,
yeah, yeah,
came she and I and their college they have a college intern from Mount Holyoke
right.
College came over and sort of picked my brain about the significant tree ordinance and just ordinances and regulations in general. Um, that same week, but on a Friday. So it was nice to meet with them. So there was a little follow-up, but I thank you for going over there, and I agree. I think it would be helpful. We could learn a lot from other tree. There's a lot of tree committees and commissions in Massachusetts
Mm.
that are similar bodies, but they really don't have. There's not a forum because it's kind of difficult because you can't all be on the same commission and be in the same. I mean, you could if you just did one giant public meeting, but if you were to go to some forum where you actually had some like a workshop and educational sessions, it could become a little dicey because you are all like if you had a quorum.
Ah,
Yeah,
mm,
so that's the unfortunate part, but there's a lot to learn. So just actually meeting folks grassroots like this, I think is very helpful. So, and I think Amherst, Amherst was the model that was adopted for this tree committee when it was the City of Northampton Tree Committee when Jen first started. And
mhm.
then, because I remember going with Lily over to Amherst to sit at some of their tree committee meetings and sort of see how they function, what their mission statement was, how they navigated working with, municipal departments being a volunteer committee. So it was really interesting. But I mean, since then, like the evolution of tree committees in Massachusetts has just sort of blown blown all of that away. So I think it's good to learn from each other. I think it's very helpful. I do think Rich, I do detect a little bit of like a little bit of a race in tree planting. So they did 25, we did 73, so we're ahead of them. So we'll have to, I don't know. They are selective. They also, their funding mechanism is a little different there too. So, but Alan's been doing this for a long time. He does a great job. But thank you. And thank you for re-upping your appointment. Appreciate that as well. So look forward to 3 more years of great work. I think it's 3. Your term's 3 years.
I think so. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Didn't they give you a piece of paper?
No, just go back and take the oath and
Okay. All right. I will look. Okay. All right. Any other business not anticipated by the chair? Let me just look at a calendar
I was
quickly.
gonna just ask when the next meeting is.
Yep, that's what I'm actually, because we have, let's do the month look. So our next meeting technically would be September 2nd.
All right.
So it's either, yep, September 2nd, and then the following meeting would be the 16th. So I will send out a reminder email that we're back to 2 a month, unless commissioners want to have a discussion about going to 1 a month. I'm okay entertaining that as well. So. Anything else that anyone would like to discuss while we have the floors open? Okay, all right, then we will adjourn if that is okay with everyone. Do we get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move we adjourn.
All right, there's a motion.
Second,
There's a second. We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. There's a second by Kent. Any discussion on the motion? No discussion. Bonnie, could you call a roll call, please?
Yep, Rich Parasletti,
Yes.
Jennifer Werner,
Yes.
Richard Parrish,
Yes.
and Kent Johnson.
yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Bonnie, thank you again for taking care of the minutes. I'll get you that amended planting report so you can append that to the draft minutes for next meeting.
Great.
And we'll be in touch and we'll see you all on the 2nd.
Great.
Okay?